We have much information on our cocktail pot from these days, and I think now it's the moment. I mean, this is almost 11:30. It's Friday, and I guess we're all tired, and we're looking for the coffee break. But the coffee break, according to the agenda, is a special one. It's an interactive coffee break, so that you're expected not just drink coffee and talk on the weekend, what you're going to do on the weekend, but also to talk on contents of these days. And in this sense, we have a suggestion for you. So let me show you. You know that today is not a normal Friday, which is because it's 2 days after we reach the future. And because on the 21st October, this is the day before yesterday, we reach at last the future. So Martin McFly came to the world of the future and discovered the reality in 2015. Our suggestion to all of us right now is to make an exercise and to transport ourselves to the future, and precisely to it becomes crazy. To 2030. And I'm going to read your story, which is happening in the year 2030 about a researcher called Chiara. It's about 1.5 pages, so be just 2 minutes patient with me, please. And we will discover what has happened, and what is the situation in 2030. And we will read that the situation is pretty good for her, but there are also some trade-offs. The specific suggestion to you is that during the coffee break, maybe you can try to imagine what could have happened during these 15 years, so that we reach this status quo in 2030. So the specific suggestion, or maybe I will read, first of all, I will read the story and then I will explain you specifically. So it's the year 2030. The GCM, Global Circulation Model, has become a central model in climate science, and open science has become a reality in climate research. It opened up a whole range of new and limited opportunities for research and discovery. This is an account of a day in the life of Chiara, one of those global climate scientists, and the way she interacts with the scientific ecosystem today in 2030. At around 8 a.m. local time, she wakes up at the home in Santorini, and while enjoying breakfast, connects her to her account on the lab, the global virtual research environment, to check recent messages and posts. She has just published a new report on the impact of recent temperature fluctuations around the Greek island on the microclimate, and has shared her findings with her friends and colleagues of the network. The report has already received quite some positive feedback. The feedback she gets and the knowledge she shares through the lab will improve the quality of her research, while integrated lab metrics will increase her overall ranking in the science community as she's part of, as well as her scientific impact and reputation. At 11 a.m., Chiara is updating her report with the feedback she received overnight. Meanwhile, her tablet is processing some new raw data by Gaia, the science the Citizen Science Earth Observation Monitor. This artificial intelligence system, which is available to all users of the lab at no cost, provides crowdsourced data from all over the globe in a wide range of topics. Meanwhile, in the Maldives, James, a citizen scientist running a diving center, checks the smart sensors that have been collecting data about temperature, currents, etc., in the Indian Ocean archipelago. These data will be made openly available and reusable for research purposes to Chiara and thousands of other global climate, as well as other scientists around the world, through the Gaia Earth Sciences database, and are immediately and directly available to all members of the lab. Catherine, the scientific director of the European Institute of Earth Sciences and Natural Resources in Paris, would like to invite Chiara to participate virtually in the conference on research in underwater laboratories she organizes at the end of the next month in the French capital, as well as through a live broadcast on the lab. She posts a message to Chiara, including a link to the announcement of the event and some background materials related to the conference. Gordon, a London-based freelance education professional specialized in earth sciences, is developing a lab introductory course on marine biology. He has been in touch with Chiara through the virtual research platform and would like to know if she is available for an interview later on this month and whether any new research could be used as part of the course material. Gordon also informs Chiara about several research he has had recently from students who would like to participate in one of the projects. Chiara, who has been out at sea the whole afternoon in order to conduct her research together with several of her team members, has been informed about the request sent by Gordon and Catherine on her digital bracelet. This smart device, which is connected to her diving gear, not only helps her to keep up to date with the network, but it also helps her keep track of valuable information for the research she's dealing with, and which she would not be able to collect otherwise in her marine environment. Because the device is also connected via satellite to the lab, it can send the data immediately to the global research platform, which saves time and provides a backup for the information at the same time. David, who lives in Redwood City in the San Francisco Bay Area in California, is running a startup which is collecting and processing satellite data for scientific purposes. He posts a set of charts and maps on Chiara's lab page using data collected over the past months and which could feed her specific research purposes. Zhang Li is a Chinese science blogger and research fellow working for Pacific Research in Seoul, South Korea, one of the world's leading science hubs and a major donor to the lab. She has just registered for Gordon's new online course through the lab. She has also read about Chiara's work and sent her a message with a request to join her team in Santorini next summer. Before going to bed, it's around midnight on Santorini, Chiara checks her latest status on her personal page on the lab. She answers Zhang Li's request and sends her an overview of available dates where and how she could join in, as well as some public and private funding possibilities that could be used to pay her stay in Europe during the summer. It has been a long way to achieve the innovations that led to today's open global climate science system. During the past 15 years, we certainly did a number of things right, but many bad and wrong decisions and steps were taken as well. Today, on the 23rd October 2030, our goal is to discuss our lessons learned. What did we do right? What did not what did not go so well, and how could we have avoided the negative consequences? End of the story. I didn't write the story, but Michaela, which is has an important cold, and so I was representing her, substituting her by reading it. So our specific suggestion during the break is we have prepared three flip charts, actually with in each of one is one of the three issues of the symposium. Again, availability and access, reuse and redistribution, and universal participation. And it is to expect it that you just spontaneously maybe moving along the three flip charts, spontaneously meeting with some other participants, think collectively on positive and negative issues that may have happened during these last 15 years. This is an experiment. We don't know who is going to take us. And I hope that you will agree if you assume and accept our suggestion or our challenge. So if there's nothing to be added by my colleagues co-responsible of this madness, I will declare the interactive coffee break open. We will make some place here because there are some chairs that won't be used. And we'll distribute these three flip charts inside the room, and of course you're free to move and to stay at the lobby or even outside. I don't know if it's raining. And don't forget to use your digital bracelets. Elizabeth has something to say. Sorry, I can't. Yeah, but you can write directly on the flip charts. There are post-its there, but you can, as you wish. I don't know what's the. Yeah, I can. I think that you can directly write on the.
But we don't have that many pens for the poll.
Okay, so just please use the post-its. They are different colors. Maybe you may use for the red ones for the negative aspects and the green ones for the positive ones. I think there's a third color. Maybe you find some neutral from Switzerland, for example, some statements. Have fun. Let's check your extremely fertile production, writing on post-its as just having a simple view. Results looks like promising, at least. I suggest you, instead of one person reading the post-its, why don't make a common tour altogether? I mean, we have approximately 20 people, not even 20 people. Maybe we can go together through the stations and then talked about closely, physically speaking, also on what has been remarked in what are your opinions, or what are your inputs on these past 15 years. So I don't know. Let's start by, of course, station number 1 on availability and issues. Do you wanna? I think I have to talk, or we have to talk more or less with the microphone for recording purposes again. But in any case, I can just.
Each one read one of them. Pass on the microphone, and everyone reads one.
I can just read it because otherwise it would be logistically complicated. But when there's some doubts, or the author of the comment would like to add something, that of course he or she can do it anytime. In any case, availability and access. We have some positive and some negative. diagnose or yeah, comments about the past. I'm sorry. Someone thought that well, this is the big question is if I'm able to read this. Available funding, human resources, and infrastructure. Yes, okay. There's also a post-it telling us that availability to access everything, really everything, stressed everything. Go green. I don't know, I have some suspicions. Yes, everyone puts his or her publications in online repositories for free. So the green paradise, so to say. Funding models for data infrastructures are in place. Important point, I think. Universities are taking responsibility for their produced data, and that means e-archiving, and that means also sharing. Free access to everyone, it's like a slogan. In 2027, this is for 3 years, Google Science, thank you, has seized the Elsevier empire to move into streaming reality television. Okay. Who was the author of this fantastic? Sorry?
It's like voting.
Okay, it's secret. Okay, it's like the vote. Oh yeah, no. Now I see.
You have to read this in the right order. Read that one first, and then read that.
Oh, okay, sorry. That's true. Elsevier has bought out all the other major publishers and has a monopoly on science publishing in 2020. But what happened in 2027? 7 years later, this is for 3 years ago, Google Science has seized the Elsevier empire to move into streaming reality television. Are you related to Google somehow? Okay, no links. Okay. Okay, all research funders worldwide made open access to publications mandatory in 2020, and in 2025 also open access to research data. So what is currently a recommendation, at least at European Union level, will be actually was for 5 years mandatory actually. I left this? Yes, I think so, yeah. Thank you. Apple, let's see, it's this way. You can read it better than me, this is proof.
Introduces?
Apple introduces the iHot. iHot, is this true? iHot. iHot, a device that interfaces your optical nerves to the web.
Yeah.
Oh. This is even George Orwell couldn't have imagined this. I think I can now see real-time informational overlaps on my surroundings and access information at the environment.
I think so.
Social footprint and products I consume. So this is really the real. But this is the real about availability. Yeah. We can access everything. Yeah. What is here?
It's known that it's there.
Is known that it's there. What does really this means?
Well, I think when there are lots of data available, but people don't know that it's there, that it's usable. So it just says that it's also transparent and known to the potential users of this data, that it's there.
Yeah, very smart. I can do regional climate simulations on my iPhone 17 plus or 17th. Okay. However, publishers are a minority, but still existing. This is not that optimistic. Climate research funding was considerably increased in 2024. This is a direct message to JPI Climate. Better and more open access training were introduced in universities and research institutions. So researchers improved their open access publications on data, and probably improved also their skills on publishing open access, and just became or has become the normal situation. This one, I don't know if this one is neutral. In any case, it says the subscription journal model still prevails, but the subscription and submission numbers considerably decreased. Okay, this is more somehow similar to this hybrid scenario. And then on the negative. Predatory open access journals with no peer reviews have overwhelmed the publishing market. That's true. This is an issue it has been even mentioned, but it was a comment from several persons, different persons, during when we were developing the guidelines. They comment on of these predatory open access journals, or the fake journals. But I've also found the argument that these fake journals were existing before open access came. So I don't know what really makes differences. Loss of privacy. Loss of privacy. What does that mean? Yeah.
I've put that on all three charts because within the story with her and her bracelets and constantly sending data, where is the point where she can control what information is actually made public or not? So it goes through all the three stages that you really have to find a way to protect the privacy and, I don't know, sort of give her some control on what kind of data she provides. And
indeed, there's in this scenario, according to the story, a clear trade-off. Access and data mining become more important than data analysis. Should be a trend today, or it seems to be a trend even today. I mean, today, 2015, but now. Small data are getting lost due to focus on big data, and it requires some explanation. I don't know if the author is here.
Well, as there will be more focus, I believe, on the data centers, the big data producers. That's where the money is. So that's quite a challenge that we are facing right now, that the universities are not taking their responsibility of the control of what data is actually produced in the university right now. Hopefully they will. I wrote the other one about that as well. So I think it's a risk that the money that's available will go to the big data repositories, and the small data still won't be handled in the structured way. Hopefully not.
Well, let's see. We'll see. Sorry. Data politics. Surveillance of citizens even more aggressive. And used by military forces. Can it?
Misuse?
Misuse, thank you. I guess you are the author. No?
No.
Wait, okay.
Me.
So you are capable to read it, not me. Misuse of military forces, the evil forces, always. Okay, what more? High costs of storage of huge amount of data. Okay, the costs issue. Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, this is the Elsevier story, you already know. It's too difficult to find high quality research output because of the overload and amateur publishing. It's related to review of quality, maybe peer review. Do you want to add something? No. Okay. Find the right data is challenging. It's somehow related to the last point. Related to data quality, probably. Requirements for immediate access to new data prevent throughout or thorough analysis. Okay. Monopoly of access to data by few companies. Probably big ones. There are still proprietary data which should be open. So something is missed to involve private companies more in open data. Okay, this is somehow a little bit contradictory to the first one, big companies, and this one is just warning that maybe we forget some private companies involved in open data. Hybrid open access publishing has become even more expensive. Well, this is the negative scenario, which is still not just persisting somehow as a small phenomenon, but really has become a problem. Repositories are too complex, are too difficult to use, are too unstable, and they're not up to date. They are not recent. They are old. So it's the question about maintenance and data curation, I guess. And non-experts do not use raw research. So just using research results, I guess. Many different negative, even more negative than positive comments. Yeah.
As it's already quite late, we should maybe just let everyone read on their own things, then we can move on to the final.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So we can end it.
In any case, we can move to the second one. I don't know if everyone.
Should I take for the second one? I was part of the second team, and we'll maybe a little bit quicker summarize what is on there. There's a big cluster of like big IT comps. So this is the part about technical aspects of reuse and also redistribution. First of all, I read the neutral one, which is Google Scholar generates automatically publications by using available open access articles. So maybe I don't know. It fits in the middle, I think. Then we have some like big IT companies. So they have also big IT companies adopt open formats for their files. Networking is available across the globe. Distance doesn't matter anymore. So the world gets even more globalized. Integrated collaborative data infrastructure. So this is like the cluster of big data, big IT. Adopting open knowledge, which is a positive thing here. Then also something about open formats. Open formats are implemented so everybody could write their own software to use the data, even if the original software is no longer available. And then one more, which is about the implementation process. Bold moves to just use open data in the beginning facilitated open science in the end. And okay, then I will move to the negative space. Again, loss of privacy, which probably comes with all that, and also with the Google Scholar thing. Primary data, secondary data are not available enough for research. Negative aspect. Information overkill. Data management became so complicated and time-consuming that the allocated funds reached 40% of the project budget. Yeah, which is also probably a bad thing to happen. Open access versus research and data ethics. probably maybe cluster that to the loss of privacy and information overkill, I don't know. And you have to pay for data transfer. Okay, that would also be bad. Especially combined with the big company empire we have heard about. And so the last one, IT enterprises like Google or Alphabet influencing standardization activities to their business intent. Yeah, it also fits into that kind of space. So that would be technical, positive, and also fears about what could happen with technology in the future and how technology will be used to implement open access and open science. And that was pretty much the things we discussed yesterday also. Yeah, so maybe we can go to the third one now and discuss the universal participation also. You have clustered a little bit.
So I can see from a first view here that there are a lot more positive aspects than negative aspects. So what we found here is with universal participation, there are big shifts in the system. So one is that it's really a more democratic system. There are funds available for the open access, and it's really something that has improved the system in itself and the structures. Also, what we find here is a new system of evaluation. So we have, for example, the suggestion that the software, a new software will evaluate impact in a different way. So also research is not evaluated anymore by publications. So there's really this strong vision of, okay, different evaluation system for researchers, helped through the open access aspects. And also, here we've got the stakeholder involvement, so that we've got really a wider participation in the whole research process, and we've got an open input and also an open output by the end. So, and by the end of the day, it means also that people understand better what's actually going on. So we understand our structures, which is not, well, obviously not the case today. So, on the negative side, we've got the digital divide. So there is really this concern that in our vision, the gap between those who have access to information are at the other end of the scale, and there is a big part of people that does not have this access. Also, here we've got a very interesting scenario. The academic career model crashed in 2023, explicitly, because it couldn't cope with the high number of researchers and didn't offer good job opportunities. Okay, so, well, Chiara, apparently, she found a way around that. So, lucky Chiara, she's going diving. Well, here we also have the information overkill and, again, the loss of privacy. We lose even more free time because of constant availability. So I think we can see these developments already now. And, well, Chiara's example showed that pretty well that it's even going to get worse. We will be vulnerable to the statements by incompetent people. Yes, so again, the quality question that already came up in different contexts. China has become a new major scientific power and left the Western world behind, our main concern. But here, I really like this one. Google launched the first high-impact citizen science project. So we've been talking about Google already and about the corporate world that is also starting to sneak into science. So I find it quite interesting that this seems to be a neutral comment. Who wrote it? Okay, so you can see positive aspects about that as well. Okay, and then by the end we also have that, well, we still have problems with the synchronization of the work over the different time scales. So something that we already experience now. I think it also links a little bit with this being available 24/7. So you're probably going to be very performant as a researcher, but you won't have a life anymore. All right.